Welcome to Bronyville. This is Bronyville episode 140. Jeez. Recorded on February 16th, 2014. I am your host, Apple Cider. Hello, everyone. Hey, Sandy.
Yo.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. All right.
Busy. Oh my god.
We're recording on Sunday. Yesterday was a crazy day. Sandy had a whole bunch of planning for a con. Not a Pawnee con, but a different con. So we weren't able to do it yesterday. How's everything going with that crazy?
Well, it took 6 people 3 hours to bag up 1,800 mini soaps. 3 people bagging, 3 people stickering and putting into boxes.
Did it say wiggity check yourself before or wash yourself?
No. The implication is there. Hey, our little bag gift is a special bar of soap. Perhaps you should use it. Or just use soap in general. You smelly nerds.
Yo, dog, here's some Febreze. Use it.
Except Febreze doesn't really work that way.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
Yeah, and then we had our last minute, is anything on fire meeting. Thankfully, the answer is no. And then Wednesday is the start of load-in. Thursday is setup. And then Friday, Saturday, and we actually have some events Thursday night now because that's just how convention creep happens. Mm-hmm. Once you're around long enough, people start showing up earlier and earlier, and well, you might as well do some stuff on Thursday night.
We're having the
event.
Thursday night dance where there's a few people here, and this is the B team of the DJ set. My kid brother wants to play a set.
That'd be like the D team because we already have concerts each night and dances each night.
We shouldn't leave our little guests this week hanging in the dark. We've got Rommel and Borg with us. Hey guys,
gonna talk Babscon.
Yeah, we're gonna talk Babs. Hey guys,
distance is futile.
Yep. As always. But yeah, you've got that. So you got a fiesta coming up next week.
Yep.
We'll have to figure out what we do next week for a show because I'm going to be potentially busy with some stuff of my own, and it's an FU week, so I have to figure out what kind of terrible show I need to set for that.
Well, just know for a fact that I ain't gonna be around.
Yep, that's a given. Hey, at least look at it like this. This year, I can guarantee you I will not be attending a convention that burns to the ground.
Yay.
It's so weird to think that was only a year ago. Like, it feels like a lifetime since I stood in Las Vegas and went, everything is melting. But it was a year ago.
Good times.
That was
very good times.
It was fantastic. I had a Vegas adventure. Yep. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and move forward just a little bit. I've been working on some business stuff. I've been, for the most part, just working and getting everything situated on that. Did a big meeting of course, I'm making DevScruff / Audio Stratus, my little software platform. And so yesterday was a big class for meeting with an investor and being like, hey, these are the things you should do and don't do this and say these things and these are the legal problems. And it was something like 6 hours of just intensive, just like, okay, all right. All right, now I've got an extra month of work. But, the scary, crazy you got to go through to actually do this stuff. The main problem is, finding someone that I can be like, hey, listen, you're a really good coder. Do you want to work on this for like $30K and investment options? That would be great if you could, please. But, if the business takes off, then those investment options are going to be worth a buttload. So, yeah, just all the bits on that. That's been my week. All right, well, let's go ahead and move forward. We got to talk about ponies, I guess. We got Quiet
Lots
Pony.
of horses this week.
We've got Quiet Pony and whatever the other episode was that I've completely blanked out of. Simple Ways. Oh, yeah, Rare Pony. Rare.
Yep.
Huh, that episode. All right.
That sure was the thing.
That was a thing. Wow. All right, let's do this. Borg and Rommel, we have to go ahead and catch up with you just to make sure nothing has changed. That's the last time you goobers have been on here. Borg, let's go ahead and start with favorite character and favorite episode.
Favorite character, Twilight Sparkle. Always hardcore Twilight Sparkle. RD is a close second. Let's see. Favorite episode. I'm going with I don't know. Can I cheat? Can I do a two-parter?
No.
Like
Yes, you
no.
can.
I want to do the Candlelight Wedding. I
That's a
absolutely
good
love
one.
that.
That's a good one.
Absolutely love that one.
Okay. All right, Rommel, what you got?
Well,
Are you gonna say Luna?
Well, duh.
Well, duh. I'm going to say Luna. Because I was on here like 2 weeks ago saying the same thing.
Although I will say Applejack has gone up in my favorites list.
Oh, has she? Where is she now?
She is head to head with Rarity.
Oh my.
Oh. Those two usually go head to head.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah, the show 2 weeks ago was a pretty good for Applejack, I think, but we'll cover that in just a little bit. Okay, and favorite episode?
Sleepless in Ponyville.
Good one. Nothing like a Scootisode. All right, well, let's go ahead and move forward here. Let's hit up our sponsors, and we can go ahead and talk about the news and do some. We'll obviously talk about Babscon and whatever crazy. Get Rommel and these other guys to actually give us an exclusive. You want to give us an exclusive, and then we can go ahead and move from there. So first, what's our sponsor?
We love folks, fine purveyors of fandom t-shirts and clothing and stuff. Keep on code Bronyville 10, save 10%. And hey, the first My Little Pony Season 4 design contest winner has been chosen. It is Luna looking sad into water, and Nightmare Moon is in the reflection.
Ooh.
That's a Ponies versus Villains Changeling shirt and hoodie. It's the changelings in the shape of a heart. That's kind of cool.
Huh. I have to see.
It's a hoodie and shirt.
Oh, that was from a few. I feel like that was from a few submissions ago.
Yeah,
like,
it was
one of the old contest designs, but it was one of the ones that was like a finalist, but never actually made it. It was the bridesmaid. Now it's the bride.
This is, so we love fun. Use the coupon code. It's cool.
Yep, Bronyville 10 gets you 10% off.
Just like at Babscon. Yay!
Hey, who are those goobers? Those chuckleheads.
Maybe they should talk.
Yeah.
Well,
who the hell is going to this con? Come on.
Absolutely every pony.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anybody who's any pony's going.
Ooh, big words.
How many guests are we up to, Rommel? Like, I can't even keep track of them.
It's a fairly ridiculous number.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to make it Borg. You have to name 5 guests off of your memory, and then Rommel has to name 5 other guests.
Ooh.
All right. So Borg, go first.
That sounds hard.
Name 5 guests.
We have first time in over a year, Tara Strong coming to a PonyCon.
Okay, 1.
The lovely Andrea Libman.
2.
The fabulous Amy Keating Rogers.
3.
Jason Seathman.
He's a cool guy. 4.
He is a cool guy. Big Jim Miller is coming.
All right, that's 5. All right, so now I got to hear it from Rommel. Because now he's got to name me 5 newer ones.
We've got the wonderfully talented Kathy Westluck.
Okay.
The amazing Nicole Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
The ever so fabulous M.A. Larson.
Always.
The trolliest troll, yes. M.A. Larson.
The most fabulously trolliest troll, yes. We have Brian and Brianna Drummond.
Mm-hmm.
Which counts as 2.
And, well, they're a pair. And then, of course, we also have Megan McCarthy.
Yay.
Ooh.
So that's 10, and that's not even all your list, because you keep teasing us that there's more to come. You're so
There is
close.
more to come.
There's more to
There's
come.
still more to come. Yeah.
I know. It's like you should tell us some of these more to comes right here on the show, right now, if you so want.
I bet I can. You know what? I will tell you a new guest. We're
Oh,
coming.
all right. Here we go.
Ooh,
Here we go.
exclusive.
A new guest.
This is so important. This is what Brony Media is about, getting exclusives before anyone else.
All right. Who do I want to announce? Who do I want to announce right here? I don't even have a write-up. This is so exclusive. I'm going to get in trouble for saying
It's
it.
so hot mess.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're such a loose cannon.
It's so
I'm
hot
such
mess.
a loose cannon.
Well, I know
It is
that
a
there's
loose
been a lot. I know that there's been a lot of I'll just say that there's been a lot of information swirling around something about comic books.
There is a
Maybe.
little something about comic books.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear something? Speaking of comic books,
Sure. We're delaying so oddly right now.
I'm
it
trying to
feels like
find
there's a
the
PR
name, so
guy
I'm
in
trying
the.
to pronounce it correctly. Hold on.
Okay. I feel like there's a
one
PR
of-
guy in the background just going like, "Tell him this, but not too much."
We're having like a little quick little powwow.
I see.
We have Heather Breckle coming.
Woo!
Ooh.
She's a friend of ours. We like her.
She is amazing.
Yay.
As known, Anginess, who has been on our show several times, with usually our friend Tedley Anderson. But yeah, anginess.deviantart.com. Heather Breckle done a lot of the great coloration that you see on the MLP comics. So fantastic. Hot digs. Hot stuff.
Neat.
I'm definitely getting a commission from her. Is she going to have a table?
We do believe she may have a table.
We do believe she may have a table.
She may have a table. And you know what? She may
Confirmed
not
for
be alone
possibility
either.
of table.
Ooh.
Wait, what was that? I'm sorry.
She may not be alone either.
Oh, more hot exclusives oncoming. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move forward. So that's Babscon. As we said, Bronyville 10 gets you 10% off, and it seems like every single... if you have not met everyone before, guess what? It's like a one-stop shop. It's like the Costco of catching all the Brony types.
I think the hotel looks better than a Costco.
Probably. I wasn't
I would
going to say
hope so.
Walmart, because that would just be
Actually-
rude. Costco...
Let me check.
But you still need a membership to get in. Bronyville 10 pays for that, helps pay 10% off of that membership. God.
Speaking of 10% off, we also have a $1,000 membership. 10% off. I mean, that's $900 only. $100 off. We got only one of those left. Our last premium membership.
And what does it do for you? If I gave you $1,000, what perks do I get?
Well, for instance, you get not only your con pass and your con badge, you also get an exclusive custom drawn badge, a VIP meet and greet, very exclusive, a custom man-made little handmade pony of your choice, an exclusive Golden Gates pocket plush,
Cool.
a main 6 pendant. You'll have to see it. You have to go to babscon.com and kind of look for it yourself. But it's made by Silver Slinger, formerly known as Chaotic Brony. That's really cool. I know Sonia, our con chair, is running around with one of those. And a T-shirt and a couple other cool stuff like priority seating at the signings, events, and panels and stuff.
As well they should be. Especially if they're dropping that much money.
Yep. Yeah, I'm actually going to probably get us a hotel room so that we can just hang around and be complete jerks, even though I live in the city, just to be like, hey, I'm going to be right there. So that way we can be maximum dork and go check out any parties and stuff like that. So go check all that out.
Speaking of which, there will be a party floor
Party floor.
with a
Cass.
designated party event and several very, very awesome parties available for all of you to come check out.
So explain to some people here who haven't probably gone to conventions as much. What exactly is a party floor? Is it...
Well, a party floor is basically a section of the hotel.
where the parties are concentrated.
Those parties can range from anything between 18 plus kind of adult parties up to the 21 plus, where there's alcohol that's served and food served too, but of course limited because of the hotel's food and beverage policy. And basically, what you have is at around 9.
We're experiencing technical difficulties with Rommel's connection. Please stand by.
Okay, so basically it's a giant floor with a bunch of parties on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Back in further confusion, in San Jose recently, they had a pony party, a Klingon party with some awesome drinks. The couple of
It was
A couple of
definitely
wonderful things. Oh, jeez. Rommel, go
Poor
find
Rommel.
a new connection. Rommel.
It was a lot of fun, and we're hoping to have a similar amount of fun over at Babscon in this April.
Yep. All right, cool. So you guys got Babscon coming up and all that craziness. Let's see. I said we've went through the guest list. We've talked about all the other stuff. Some of the registration things. 1 billion guests. More guests oncoming. I think, considering the fact that we are so close to a convention period and that there are maybe a lot of people who haven't gone to a con before, maybe we should go through the suggestions of a con checklist, stuff you should probably check out or know when going to a convention. How do you think about that? Probably be a good warm up, because I know that there's a lot of people. We talk about the cons a lot and stuff, but there's actually
There's a lot of people that have never been to one.
Mm-hmm. And it's very intimidating, where it's like, oh no, I'm going to be someplace with 1,000 people that are all about this thing, and I don't want to look weird and awkward, and I need to know how to properly tip my fedora. So,
Fedora parkour.
take your fedora off, let it slide, and it just lands on top of someone's head, and they keep going. So yeah, let's do a little bit of that. That would actually be a good concept. We've talked about it a little bit in the past, but the 6-2-1 rule.
Yes, definitely.
6 hours of sleep, 2 meals, and a shower at minimum. And make sure that shower. What are some other things that you guys would like to suggest for any people out there who may have not been to an event before, or maybe people who have gone to conventions in the past, stuff that you've picked up over the years that you want to offer as suggestions?
Well, always make sure, don't be the guy that brings just enough money to cover his food and stuff to buy and then accidentally forgets money to pay his share of the room.
Whoops. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
There are certainly people who, I am coming to this convention with $20 and I need to figure out how to live off of $20 for several days. It's never a good sign, because
You're going to be eating dry ramen.
Dry ramen. They don't really serve too much ramen at the hotel, though.
Yeah, it's usually pretty bad, because then, like, usually you're packed in. So the people that do that, it usually is this same sad scenario of just like, they find a room, and even though each room is supposed to have a total of like 4 people, you go into the room and now there's 20 people like stacked upon each other because they all want to save money. And then they're just not eating, and it's kind of crazy.
It's a good way to get really sick at a convention.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also to possibly get mixed up with personalities that you don't want to get mixed up with.
Yeah. Stuff that I've picked up over the years. I mean, for someone that's brand new and going to a lot of conventions, I always recommend, I find that panels are much more important for people who are new to conventions, because when you're first starting off, it's very, you don't know a lot of people, and you're around a lot of people that have a lot of information and do a lot of neat stuff. So the panels are great for that. And I also find that if you're in a panel with some, I always like to start I usually do a panel, which I probably should recommend you Babs guys do, and I could run it. I like to do a first convention panel, which is sometimes before or even just immediately after opening ceremonies, which is, hey, here's your first convention. These are the things you should do. Guess what? It's your first in convention. You probably don't know anybody else, but you know who else doesn't know anybody else? The people right next to you. Make some friends. It's an important thing to know to make kind of a network during the time you're at a con, so that you can not only have some people that, make sure that you're not going to be going to dinner alone, just eating that pasta all by yourself, but, forever alone. just sitting there with a fedora full of spaghetti, just working it down. But that you can even actually end up making friends that you know and you spend time with outside of conventions. So that's a good suggestion on that.
You know who I met for the first time at a convention?
Who?
Silver Eagle.
I met him at a convention too.
But he actually lived in my hometown. But I met him really for the first time at the Brony Fan Fair's first year.
Wasn't that a fun time?
That was a fun time.
That was pretty nuts. I got to step away for a bit. Why don't you guys go ahead and talk about some other suggestions real fast? I'll be right back.
Soap. Did we mention soap? How many times can we mention soap?
Soap is important.
Can we mention one more? Important. Showers are great, but not if it's just water.
Yes, you have to involve soap on your skin. It does not burn unless you have
Sorry, go ahead.
It's like deodorant is important. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. I mean, come on. If you're in a shower, you have some soap, you got some hot water. I mean, it feels nice. It feels refreshing. You come out and you're just like, I'm ready for the day, or I'm ready for the night.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Water. Water is very important, especially if you go to a room party and start drinking a bunch. Like, you're going to be super dehydrated, and that's really bad. And yeah, just make sure you stay hydrated all the time.
Yep. And
other
also,
than that,
I got one thing. I like to bring snacks with me. Usually during the course of a convention, something like granola bar, some kind of trail mix, something that isn't $100 or Snickers bar, that they actually give you some decent energy, so that you don't end up having to wait until like that dinner point or that lunch point to be able to just go out and binge eat on something, usually something expensive, since you're in a convention area. So doing that, keeping yourself fed and having a nice amount of energy to work with is always good, and it also saves you money usually. Just
other than that, the artists and people that you go and see and you like their stuff, remember to treat them like humans. They are approachable. They do not bite. They want you to come and say hello and to purchase things from them. So don't be too intimidated to go and talk to them. But on the flip side of that, don't be a booth barnacle. Don't just stand there and watch them and just say, oh, and be too shy to talk. But you want to look at their stuff, but you don't want to engage. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Booth barnacles make conventions awkward for people at tables. Don't be that guy. But yeah, Babscon is coming up soon. It's It's in April 17th, 21st. ATI 20. So we're pretty much 2 months away from this at this point. Yep. 2 months. Holy crap.
I know. Yeah. It's coming down to the wire.
And then Babscon 2015.
We'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see.
Instill the fear early.
You never know with these things.
You never know. The ride may not end.
Oh, the ride never will end, or at
Yeah.
least the ride won't end for a little while yet.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
definitely
but
talk
still
about
going.
that soon in news.
Yeah, woo.
Which, by the way, our news is quite soft this week.
That's fine, because I mean, sometimes it gets really, really, really long, and now it's just kind of not. It's kind of nice because, yeah, there's some weeks where it's just like, holy crap, this goes on forever.
Yep. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Should we go ahead? Is there anything else we want to bring up about Babs? And then we can. What website can I go to find out information about Babscon if I was interested in going to Babscon?
Well, to find
Yeah.
out information, I would go to babscon.com.
Would you?
Yes, babscon.com. It has all of our latest press releases right there on the homepage. There's registration, everything you need about hotels. If you have any questions, you can email us at info.com. And that goes to pretty much all of our staff, and the right person will definitely answer it. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we recently had, a Twitter contest, the Love Babs contest, where people put in all sorts of crazy pieces of art involving our mascot, Golden Gates.
That was
And,
cute.
The winners, we got 2 winners, and they each got a pair of weekend passes for themselves and their special summon ponies. We will be having more Twitter contests, so stay tuned. Our Twitter account is Babscon SF for San Francisco, Babscon SF, and we are on Twitter all the time. Catch us live tweeting because all of those writers and stuff that love to tweet during the episodes, they tweet with us. They're really fun, especially Amy. And we have a Facebook page too. Bay Area Brony Spectacular.
Can we give
Check us
you?
out.
Can we give you likes?
Yes.
Can I give
I
you
likes?
Yeah.
I like geeks.
Can I give you a
Funny
thumbs
likes.
up?
Give them a
the thumbs up.
+1.
Okay. Can I Google Plus you? Can I G Plus?
Yes. Actually,
Can we
you can.
dig or MySpace?
How's
I
your
don't think we've gone into
those-
those older social media sites.
Do
how's
you
your
have a live journal?
what's your Tumblr
Yeah.
like? Do you have a Reddit
Our
page?
Tumblr is going to get a revamp here, and we're going to start having more and more comics being put out. But we do have a Tumblr.
Do you use Yammer?
No.
It's an ask blog for our on mascot Golden Gates. Kind of fun,
Tumblr.
quirky. Yes. No Tumblr.
No.
I don't know. So,
Who
yeah.
knows? All right. Well, let's go ahead and move forward. How about we do some news? That sound good?
Yep.
Hey. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's pull some fun.
Good.
First off, Sandy, we need some fire status.
The fandom fire status is at February.
Oh no.
What does it mean? It means that just like every February in this fandom, there's always something crazy going on.
So what does that mean? Because we realized this over the past 2 weeks that February is usually a very bad month for this fandom.
Well, think about it. 2010 or 2011. Yeah, 2011. 2011 was the bans from 4chan that spread pony across the internet, like hitting a seeded watermelon with a hammer. It explodes and the seeds go everywhere, and you get a lot more watermelons. And the watermelons are metaphors for bronies. Think about it. Then 2012, we had, I think that was like Lauren leaving the show or something like that. Or 2012. I don't remember what was happening. What happened in February 2012? I don't really remember off the top of my head.
Well, I'm trying to remember. Maybe that was the Derpocalypse.
Oh, that was the Derpocalypse. Yes. Oh, man, the Derpocalypse was in February of 2012. And then 2013. Goodness. Oh, somebody made a noise. It's just been one weird thing after another. Oh, we lost Rommel.
Well, his connection's been goofy, so that works.
The ride never ends.
Yeah, there was the Derpocalypse last year. Obviously, Unicon happened. That was kind of the big crazy.
Well, 2012 was the Derpocalypse. 2013, I think, was
2013 was Unicon.
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 Yeah.
We were in the thick of it, me and you, Cider.
Oh, we were.
And I was
though on
watching
completely different sides.
Yes.
We were on different sides of the aisle watching as everything melted.
It was yes, the fire and the tears and the bloodshed and the Rainbow Dashy plushie.
And watching a really, really disgruntled John Delancey. I just want to get out of this stupid town.
This is why you never go to Vegas.
It was.
I lost a lot of money in Vegas, and none of it was on the tables.
I made a little bit of money and then promptly lost it, like everyone does. I was like, oh, I made $100. Oh, I lost $200. Oh well. Yeah, as Mary Angela says, the best and worst day of the fandom: Unicon and Lost Pegasus.
I think I spent 1 wee hour of the morning wandering around with the guys from UKD, trying to like waste at least some money on the slot machines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was about it.
Boy, those times. So, all right. So we've teased it a little bit. February, be wary. The month of February, the Hasbro plot and treason. So, what do we got? What's happening in February?
Well, in this particular case, it's the ride never, ever, ever ends, or at least for the next 5 years. So this weekend is the New York City International Toy Fair. And it's always a big deal because Hasbro puts out a lot of the stuff that they're releasing in the next year. And they do an investor Q&A and basically they have all these slides and crap to talk about. And a lot of the news this week is basically related to that. But because My Little Pony has become their most popular girls line, they're like, yeah, we're totally going to be, we can see supporting this IP, not necessarily the show, not necessarily the ponies, but the IP of My Little Pony in its current incarnation for the next 5 years.
So season 8, if not 9.
Yes.
I can't even imagine what's going to happen to my personal life in 5 years.
Yeah, this is like we're on season 4, and they're already making it sound like they're going to be supporting up to 8 and 9. It's like, good. It
is kind of scary when you think about it.
Well,
I mean, obviously, you're not tied to the ride is not like Mr. Bones' Wild Ride where you're trapped forever, but it's one of those things where you look at it and you go, I'm going to be a pretty different person in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily see myself as being on this ride until the end, which is kind of weird. I mean, I know for a fact that there's probably going to be at least a couple more years of the convention scene and its current smaller incarnation. But it's just wild to think that, Hasbro has seen such a boon from ponies that they're like, yeah, we're supporting this for the long term.
Mm-hmm. Little Ribbon mentions that usually the generations last roughly about 9 years, which, could make sense on that. I think we're more interested just show-wise of what's the show going to do, because, now we're talking about 9 years worth of material. We're interested in watching the show as it progresses, and the characters that we've, come to know and love are, they've made a lot of strides, and unless we're going to see a lot of just like slice of life episodes, it's going to be very strange just to see how much more are they going to progress? How much more are they going to have friendship lessons and learn things? This is all writer speak of stuff they have to figure out.
Applejack will have an episode on business administration because Granny Smith has died and she now has to run the farm. Pinkie Pie will have to deal with an episode about diabetes and horses. Fluttershy will get on Xanax and suddenly not have crippling anxiety attacks and how that affects her life.
Mm-hmm. We spent some time kind of debating and talking about it a little bit about the direction that we want to see. And some of this comes from just the fact it seemed like with season 3 with the way that that wrapped up with, Twilight becoming an alicorn and everything. Rage.
That could have been the end of the show.
Right.
And a lot of them, we don't know if we're getting renewed. Because most of the time, once it hits 65, that's syndication. That's it. But because ponies is actually the most watched thing on that entire channel every single week. They're like, we can't just cancel this and run like we've done. We need to keep this going because we don't want our investment in the hub to go back to being a black hole of cash.
Yeah, I mean they're doing much better than they used to. Like when the hub was first founded, you know, the show pretty much helped it live those first few like years. And now, you know, with the movie night and everything, it's definitely got a better leg to stand on, and it's actually starting to find its own. Which, you know, good on the hub and good for the guys over there. I'm just, you know, I just kind of wonder, considering the fact that we always want forward progression, but the fandom is always going to be pushing against forward progression in one way or another. You know, because we like to see the characters get better and learn stuff, but we don't like them progressing in ways that, that person should be with this person, or, you know, no, this needs to happen, not that, you know, just some more of the fandom grinding. You know, I kind of made the suggestion that I would really like to see it if next season, if not the season after that, we see like a dramatic shift. Like I would really be interested to see, like, okay, well, what happens if the main six turn into mentor? Like we pretty much shift everything. It's like, okay, the main shift turn into princesses or whatever. Now they're leading the country. Celestia and Luna are like, all right, bye folks. We're in retirement, whatever. And then you see like, all right, the main six are now the main characters. And then, or the CMCs are now the main characters, and then we bring in some more friends on top of that, revamp the cast. You can bring Pound and Pumpkin Cake up, and they're like the CMCs now. You get pretty much a generation, you get akin, I don't want to use well, I will use it like this, but I don't want it to invoke as much fear as it does. It would be like 4.5. It would be like, all right, shift it up one notch. Now, all the characters that you liked before are here. We're adding new elements. The main six are still there, but they're off, you know, they're off doing other stuff. But then you get to see more progression of the CMCs and some other characters and some other... I think that could be a real fun way they could do it, so that it still feels like we're not going to be sitting around with the same six characters for 9 seasons going, and Applejack sure likes that farm. You know.
Well, plus, you also have to consider that if they're going to be doing this for the next near term, I mean, Claire Corlett is like what, 13? She'll be like 17. Maddie Peters, who does Scootaloo, she's going to be like 20.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it would make sense for them to almost kind of go with Egophilac's Slice of Life.
Yeah.
You know, where Pound and Pumpkin are the CMCs, and you have the CMC as, you know, young, you know, mid-20s ponies like the main six are now, and you add in, you know, Dinky and Rumble and, you know, insert ponies here, whatever other fillies or colts exist. And they're going on adventures and having to learn similar lessons to their progenitors, I guess. So, I mean, I could totally see them doing it, and it would make a lot of sense. And it would also give them new opportunities to make new toys. Will they do that? I don't know.
Rex asks...
I think it would be pretty cool.
Or go ahead.
I agree. I think that if they just shift the characters up a little bit, make the CMCs actually get a cutie mark of some sort, bring in the other characters, it would be still be a really fun show, like we've grown to love.
Mm-hmm. Rex brought up a point in regards to what I'm talking about. Would I consider the main six to turn into props at that point, or maybe they graduated and move on? And then Jarrell says, I don't think the main six need to move out of the picture totally. Oh, yeah, I'm completely with you on that. I would consider them, as said, more mentors. You know, it would be almost like Celestia Luna style, you know, obviously without Celestia being as, like, out there and letting you mess up as she likes to do. And without, Luna being the strange Luna she can sometimes be, I see them being a lot more Zakora-esque, actually. Like mentor ones that you can go to and be like, hey, I've got this problem. And they just be like, well, have you tried this? Have you thought about this? Like, I should probably, that seems like that makes some sense. And it could be
you also,
and it could be funny because those things could be the stuff that 3 seasons ago they had to deal with.
It could also be, the main 6 progress and go into their professional lives. It's like Pinky helps take over the bakery and runs that. AJ runs the farm. Dash is, head of the weather patrol for Ponyville. These are they're adult ponies with adult professional responsibilities. And then you have the younger kids, Rarity's off doing Manhattan stuff or whatever. Where the main 60, they're still in the picture and they're still relevant to the storyline, but they're, grown up, as it were.
Yeah, they're
and then of course, as Mary Angela points out, and then there's that wedding episode with Twilight and Flash, and the fandom combusts entirely.
Yes,
and only the strongest survive.
Because don't we know that Rainbow Dash is the only person for Twilight Sparkle? That's. Have you read my fan fiction? Have you read my fan fiction? You should go learn yourself.
I don't know. I think it's Fluttershy, man. Fluttershy.
Fluttertwy? Oh, that's such a weird.
That's a really strange combo. Dude, what is...
Yeah, Rommel's got the high-pitched squeaks again.
Sorry, I had to switch computers because the other one was blue screened on me, and then the network died, and then... I'm just having a really bad day.
Apparently you are. I'm really sorry that you're having such issues.
Yeah, I don't know what I did to deserve this. I think I angered the network gods, or the Comcast gods more specifically.
I'm not sure how long we're gonna be able to actually keep you with that high-pitched squeal going on.
Yeah.
Here, hold on. Let me try and do something about that.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Well, I think he muted himself in the interim.
It's really great for meetings.
Yep. Let's see.
So yeah, Rainbow Rocks. So that's kind of the overview, I think. It's one of those things where it's like we've been living in this world where we don't know when the ride will end, so we're gonna be like, we're gonna appreciate everything we can, which we don't. That's nothing wrong with that. But now we're getting this longer view. It's like, we're totally gonna be supporting this for the next several years. And, we've already had the mention of season 5 come up, and they didn't redact that and fix it and say, oh, I misspoke. No, that was in a printed magazine. So we already know we're getting season 5. They are going to cross that magic 100 number, which not even things like Disney afternoon shows ever crossed. They're going into SpongeBob territory now.
Yeah.
Hopefully not with the change of quality, but you know what I mean. Or maybe 6 seasons in a movie, or looks like we're going to go even beyond that. So it's interesting now that our perspective has changed, that the ride may end at any time to we're not even halfway through the ride.
This isn't even our final form of the ride.
Yes.
I think it'd be a fantastic either way. I think the ride so far has been amazing. The fandom has been amazing. And if we got 5 more years of it, then great. And if we don't, I don't know. It'd be a little sad, but I think the fandom will carry on a little bit, in its form, just like any other fandom that there's been.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That even after the show is said and done, there will be a fandom for a good long while. There's still people that meet and go watch Dark Shadows, which is a weird soap opera that aired in the 70s and 80s. They still have convention meetings in New York. There's still going to be people that meet up, years upon years from now, be it if they're actually just part of a Brony community or if it's just simply merged into the greater My Little Pony fan community, of Gen 1 through 3 plus 4. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
But But there's always going to be those out there that are going to gravitate.
There's still 2 trillion words of fan fiction to read on FimFiction.
Oh, Jesus. Maybe about like a quarter of that are actually real words that are worth reading. But yeah. All right, so that's the good news. That's all right for any out there. Let's not sound doom and gloom on that. I mean, that is 4 more seasons.
There is no doom. There is no gloom. This is just like, hey, this fandom has just been given several more years of life. Mm-hmm. That's nothing if not good.
Yeah, it imposes just new questions that have to be answered, and not by us, but by others. So.
It's all because M.A. Larson wanted to come to more conventions.
Yeah.
And see all his friends.
Yeah. That's all it was.
Pretty much it.
Bro.
So, yeah, news-wise, Rainbow Rocks is a thing.
Oh, no. So what is Rainbow Rocks?
Rainbow Rocks is the second Equestria Girls movie.
Wait, what? No. Wait, no.
Yes,
no!
Yes.
No!
And Flash is back.
No!
Flash is back.
Back
and hotter than ever.
Flash.
Still your wife again.
Flash is actually back in this one. I hadn't seen.
I'm going to guess he is. I don't know.
I hope he is.
Yeah, he has
like
to go
it is
and
Flashuary, so it's.
Yeah, there's no getting away from that. There it is. I had to find the image. People are talking about the various shipping pairings, and then, in this last episode, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yep.
Mac had both, cheerily fainting over him and Fluttershy shaking her butt and him looking and sweating. Yeah. Anyways, so Rainbow Rocks is a thing.
You're back. Oh, God, Rommel.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Ah, God. Okay. You know what? I think I'm just going to bugger off and make lunch.
Thanks for coming on, Rommel.
Yeah, sorry about this. I don't know. Maybe I should hit
We love
this
you, Rommel.
with a wrench. Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Take care, dude.
Bye.
Later.
Rommel, by the way, I don't think we mentioned, is actually the head of our
The head of your ba?
The Babscon. He's working with all of our charity efforts. He's really good at it.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool.
So, Equestria Girls 2 Rainbow Rocks, it's like a battle of the bands, very, middle school, high school type storyline. I mean, it's obviously aimed at that slightly older than the main pony demographic thing. And
how many colors are there?
Oh, there's a really obnoxious amount of them.
Jeez.
It's really just like Lisa Frank vomited a box of crayons.
It's like I'm looking at Applejack, and she's got an apple over her eye as a painting, and her mane's coming down, and it's got yellow and green and blue and red, and
it's like it's like, hey, Rainbow has naturally rainbow hair. I think we should add some rainbow to our hair too, because Rainbow rocks.
Yeah.
And Rainbow's like, yes, I do. That's right. I get all the ladies. They're doing another Equestria Girls movie. It is a thing. They've released a trailer. It's on Derpy News. And there's a song that's just shake your tail repeatedly, which is just weird.
Yeah, that's not the song, but I don't believe so. But if it is, I'm suddenly invested. Let's see. I'm looking at this picture here. It looks like both nobody's playing bass guitar. You got a keytar.
Rarity has her keytar.
Got a keytar.
And the weird diamond dog dudes that Rarity is using as her minions again.
Let's see. For some reason, Fluttershy got away with just using a tambourine.
Oh, God, there's even Lunch Lady Granny Smith in there.
Oh, boy, I haven't even seen any of these. I don't know. I don't know.
It's not for us. That's all I gotta say.
Do you think that they are probably going to do a theater release?
Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah, hey, let's do this again. Let's see how it works out. Oh, look, we just made a bunch of money.
So do you think it'll be a larger theater release than the first movie?
No.
Probably.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, they look. I'm just gonna say that even though they aired it in like rural places here, I know there are at least two of groups of my local meetup my meetup group that went out to Tyler to see this film in theaters.
Oh man.
Okay, these people drove like 100 miles, and even Zyro went and did this like twice, and I'm like, dude, you're crazy.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. Yeah.
I mean, he's very horse invested, but still, I wouldn't have driven 100 miles to go see that movie. That's for dang sure.
Horse investigators.
So yeah, of course they're making another one because surprise, and actually this is kind of a surprise. Equestria Girls as a toy line is really, really, really profitable for them.
Really?
They're making lots of money, and there was some quote I saw somewhere that was like, "Yeah, Equestria Girls as a doll line was the best-selling doll for like a certain period of the holiday season, like outselling Bratz and whatever else is out there, Monster High and
Really,
Ever
it
After,
outsold Monster High.
which is really
Jeez.
wild when you think about it. Because
It
I mean,
is.
the
Well, Monster High's
quality-
been out for a while.
Yeah, the quality difference is pretty pronounced. But I mean, these are parents buying stuff for their kids, not necessarily, kids going, "I want this."
They even beat the Navi Stars? Or Nova Stars? Or whatever that weird one is that Starry
What?
likes, where they look like aliens.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's another line she keeps looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Twiggy Girl dolls with massive heads and interesting clothing set.
Well, I mean, Rex is saying, really, the toys are selling? Huh, but they're so unforgivably ugly. Yeah, but also the problem is they're not for us. Like, the Monster High stuff looks okay, but I would never, like, in a million years think about getting one, because it's just like, it just doesn't look good to me. And these Rainbow Rocks are even more just like, Now, if they created a Brad figurine, I'd totally be on top of that. I am all for just every form of bringing Flash Sentry back, both as a form of trolling as well as the fact that it's for trolling mostly.
Yes, there is no altruism in your statement, AC. It is purely...
I just think there's nothing you can hate about him, because there is no part of him that is... He has zero personality until you actually start putting like some actual character traits on top of him, so why be mad? I think people are more mad that it's just like... If you think about it, it's like he makes more sense as like Rainbow Dashes, but I don't know.
Oh, AC, better watch out.
I know.
Got some opinions up in here.
Oh man.
Blasting a big, just most hated man in the fandom right now.
Oh, well. It's all right, AC. We had a good run.
I know. Find my mixer burning in the front room after this is done. So, yep. Let's see. So, Toy Fair. Let's go ahead and talk about what's been going on at the New York City Toy Fair.
All right. So, Stitch Kingdom is a Tumblr that does toys. And they've been going around NYC, it's not York Comic Con, it's the Toy Fair, whatever the acronym for it is. And they've been getting photos of all the new stuff. Equestria Daily has got a bunch of these pictures and reposted them so a wider audience can see them. And so yeah, there's a Rainbow Kingdom playset because surprise, Twilight's getting her own kingdom at the end of the season.
Shock.
It's gonna be like right there in the Everfree. It's gonna be basically a castle in the 10 yards around it. This is your kingdom, Twilight. Yes, please don't meddle in the actual political affairs of the country. Stay over there.
So she's getting cadenced. Gotcha.
She's getting cadence without the actual, population of having a vassal state. She's just gonna be Twilight.
It's gonna have the kingdom of books.
Yes.
Rule over
her library of awesome.
Library. That was actually a fanfic. You didn't need to know that.
No, we didn't.
So lots of toy stuff. Lots of Equestria girls this time around. There's like they're doing an Octavia Equestria girl. They're doing more of the pony packs where it's like the pony and the doll, and the pony actually has like the facial mark like the Equestria girl dolls do, which makes it look really weird. Though I do gotta say that the David Bowie looking lightning bolt over the eye, yeah, all right, Rainbow Dash, I'll give you that. Another one of the things that showed is some snow globe ponies. They're ponies filled with fluid and snow quotation marks, and you shake them and they look like snow globes. The ones they showed were Luna and Cadence, and they just look kind of weird. Additionally, they have the Bizarro Goth Phase ponies.
Oh, geez.
I tweeted a photo of these earlier, and it's basically the main six and a gothy 15-year-old got a Sharpie and took it to him. Rainbow Dash has like angry eyebrows and a black lightning bolt on her face and black wingtips, and it looks like Twilight and Rarity and Pinky are all wearing socks for some reason, because why not? They have black streaks in their mane. It's like, we're taking this cute and colorful universe and everybody's gothing it up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked the Pinkie Pie's boutique set that Target had. The gothy pie they did there was really cute. These just look kind of like a step too far. Just my opinion.
Rarity has a like black and white striped horn.
Oh, God. Really? She does. There's also a Equestria Girls Zakora doll, which is looking pretty white with gray stripes. There will be some consternation with that. There is a photo finish, which looks like it'll be the next Zakora Shadowbolt Dash thing from Toys R Us. And Chrysalis in socks.
Yeah, that's...
Chrysalis in socks.
Yeah, and yeah.
It's the exact same mold as the Nightmare Moon and White Celestia that they've done. It's going to be a Toys R Us thing. It probably will be. Except she has blue socks on, and they're striped, and she has this little, like, collar similar to what Celestia has, except it looks like it's made of cloth.
And then the wings are still wrong.
The wings are still wrong. So, yeah, it's like some of the stuff that they're putting out is kind of questionable. I mean, admittedly, it's not for us.
Yeah.
But it still looks kind of strange.
The photo finishes look good. I think both the Equestria Girls as well as the normal one looks pretty good. The goth ones are just strange.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Apparently, Twilight stole one of stole Rainbow's gala dress. It looks like they're doing it looks like a bigger than fashion size pony with like rainbowy wings and 4 different color shoes.
Of course, why not?
Yeah, it's like blue and orange and green, and I'm gonna guess red. And it's like, Twilight, you have 4 sets of shoes. Why did you pick one of each? Yes, I know you're trying to be different, but this is not the time to be rebellious, Twilight.
There's been a problem. Unfortunately there was a remodel at the Carousel Boutique, and they used lead-based paint. So Rarity is kind of slowly losing her mind. She's like, sure, yeah, more colors.
Yeah,
slowly losing their brain. The Octavius. Oh no, that's Zakora.
Yeah, the Zakora one came a little.
That's
little
so
bit
weird.
later.
She's got like a little. She's got a skirt, but the frills in the front, and then a massive mohawk. I can't even.
Yeah, your ability to has failed.
I want all of them.
You know, they're taking the line in some weird areas, and I'm sure it will sell. I have no doubt of that. But it's just kind of bizarre.
Yeah. What I will say is pretty cool out of this is the assemble sets.
Yeah, the pops, is it being called?
Yeah, so they're little. They're the abilities to. So they're akin to the plastic model kits that you would have gotten at like a hobby shop, where you kind of snap together pieces to actually build. Like let's say you're making a Gundam or you're making a car or something like that. You snap the pieces together and it actually builds the structure. And these are for making structures. So here is the one of the ones they list here is the Pinkie Pie Sweet Shop that looks. It isn't Sugar Cube Corner, but it's close enough.
It's Pinkie Pie's, franchise off the Sugar Cube Corner and she moves to Manhattan or something.
Yeah. And it's just a neat little thing. This goes along with some of the other stuff where there is the pop line where it's pretty much, hey guys, guess what? Make your own OC. Would you ever want to go, I really do like the OC creator, but I feel like I wish that could be in real life. Well, guess what? All the stickers, all the hair, all the wings.
As I tweeted, it's General Zoi's revenge. I think it'll be cool. I mean, it might be cool. I'll see it when it shows up. So beyond that, Hasbro did do their New York City Toy Fair presentation. Because what's the presentation without slideshows and infographics and whatnot? So Ponies has had a really awesome year. Brian Goldner said that Pony has expanded its reach across all dimensions. All dimensions.
Every dimension.
These guys are going into alternate universes with their pony stuff. Just wait. Hasbro actually has the portal to Equestria, and they're not sharing it. Those jerks.
It's in everything. It's in TF2. Hats.
Yep.
There you go. 5 Irons interested.
They're saying My Little Pony had its best year ever in terms of sales. Since the launch of G4 2010, revenue has roughly tripled in North America, Central and South America, and then Europe and Africa as well. IDW, 9 of the top 10 comic titles on iBooks from My Little Pony comics. The comics themselves have sold over 1 million copies. Equestria Girls also enjoyed tremendous success, according to Lamau. They showed a video of the sequel, Rainbow Rocks. They also mentioned during the week of Christmas, December 22 to 28, 2013, Equestria Girls was the #1 fashion doll according to US NPD. That is a pretty big week to be #1. Growth and expansion were definitely the themes for My Little Pony portion of the presentation. The theme for the Littlest Pet Shop was reinvention. Littlest Pet Shop was the only one of the 7 franchise brands, MLP, Nerf, Transformers, Play-Doh, Monopoly, and Magic the Gathering being the others, not to experience growth in 2013. Whoops.
Oh.
Hasbro is planning a full blueprint execution of the LPS brand that does not involve a shotgun to the temple, which includes a new logo and emphasizing the motto of Be Who You Want to Be as a line from the theme song. Mouse stated that 50% of the sales for LPS were outside the US. While both Ponies and LPS are under the girls division of Hasbro, it's clear the Ponies are doing far better than the pets. But yeah, considering that LPS is going through a reinvention of just 15 months after its reboot launch suggests the brand needs improvement and is underperforming. And apparently, if you listen to the webcast, there is more enthusiasm for MLP than for LPS. Applause followed the 2 videos of MLP versus none for the 1 video displaying LPS's strategy for 2014.
Jeez.
Ouch. Ouch.
Poor
Ouch.
guys.
And I feel kind of bad for them on that way. Because, I mean, yeah, LPS is obviously not the show that we're talking about, but a lot of the voice actors from Ponies are in LPS, and
yeah,
shows go away and it's less work for them. That sucks. But yeah, the LPS related stuff is they're completely relaunching the entire toy line. They're like, hey, we actually do need to change around this line and not use the actual show as an incidental. We have to make stuff from the show.
You think? Maybe?
Because, I mean, LPS has been around forever. I mean, they had that stuff going. I mean, LPS was like almost a Polly Pocket knockoff back in the day. Because they was still, I mean, I remember them being in stores when I worked at Toys R Us like a decade ago. And they've basically just continued putting out the same crap year after year, even though they've got a show now that they could base a new line off of. And it's kind of like the same thing with the Ponies, it took them a little bit to realize, hey, this has enough legs that we should actually start marketing stuff from the show, like the minis and the blind bags and all that stuff. So it's taken them kind of a shorter period of time, I think, on LPS's side, but they're obviously hurting in terms of that. So they're going to be doing character theme stuff and releasing DVD sets, the usual stuff. They going to be building like the apartment block, so it has the shop and the various nonsense. And apparently they're going to be doing some more of the collectible miniatures based on the actual show. So you can get Pepper and Zoe and whatever other characters. And I think there's actually a screenshot of a bunch of them, including like the little rainbow squirrels from that one little one-off My Small Squirrel. So regardless, ponies are doing well. Regional growth rates in My Little Pony it was 200% in the North America, 194% South America, 203% in Europe and Africa, and 47% in Asia. So ponies is still very, very big, and it's not going to change in the near future. So, hey, there's still legs on this horse. What do you know?
As for Littlest Pet Shop, do we have any idea on if they're going to be revamping that show at all? Or, like, what's the status on the actual show for that? Because there's a lot of crossover between LPS and MLP with just, it's made by DHX, it's a lot of the same voice cast, etc.
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, you can also look at the breakdowns, which is the next little bit of news, is the Hub Network ratings, right? Because that's always important, knowing where this show is going. And it's been something that EQD and Co. have been posting for a while. How is the show doing relative to other shows on the network? And it's really hard to compare it to other shows on other networks because Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, they're basic cable. Hub is not. So, you basically have this. Hub's a premium channel, as far as I still know. I don't have cable.
Mm-hmm.
So, not as many people see it. But if looking at the network rating scorecard for February 3rd, so 2 weeks ago, Ponies is the top 6 shows on the network.
With one of them being Equestria Girls, by the way. The top 3, or the third is Equestria Girls.
So it's like My Little Pony Friendship's Magic. So the episode that aired, the Simple Ways, had 554,000 viewers, which is not bad. That's over 500,000 for a premium cable channel at 10:30 in the morning or Eastern. Then, of course, the next thing was the rerun, I'm sure, at 5 p.m. at 330. Equestria Girls got aired on, I think they air it probably every week. I don't know. Has 1/3
Boy, and that's super early, too. Look at that. 8:30 a.m. Eastern, at least for me. That's like, that's
8:30 a.m.
Yeah,
wow.
That's Death Valley right there. But look at that. There was still 300,000 for that at 8:30 in the morning.
Now, this is what's problematic, though. So, My Little Pony Friendship's Magic at the 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. slot, 30-minute show, 554,000 viewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Littlest Pet Shop, Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to noon, 245,000 viewers.
Sheared off 50%.
Yeah, it's like people go, ponies, that was great. Click. That's kind of ad, I guess.
We should get some of the. I believe that there's some people over at DHN that follow the Littlest Pet Shop a little bit closer. We should ask just the differences and why they may think that is.
We could do that as a Phantom Unlimited episode.
We could, yeah. Let's see, to wrap up the some of the top ones. The next one that isn't Littlest Pet Shop, which actually they have tied at 7.
Oh wow! And that was the 4:30 p.m., 5 p.m. Friday showing of an episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the number 9 is Space Chimps 2 Zartog. And then the only other thing that's listed here, is Clue the movie at on ranked 12, which
That's a great movie.
that's a great movie. That's a great movie. Yeah.
And I really wonder though, because I mean that movie had multiple cuts and multiple endings. I wonder if they just show it multiple times over the course of a month and just do a different cut each time.
I think they do.
They actually have a made for TV version where they just like they basically put.
Yeah, isn't the one for TV or the one that you see the one that's like it could have ended like this, but it actually ended like they show all the endings kind of together.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah,
kind of like how the end of a Clue game goes.
The top 20 is Ponies, Equestria Girls, Ponies, Pet Shop, Ponies, Space Chimps 2, Ponies, Clue, Pet Shop, Ponies, Pet Shop, Ponies, and something called Splash 2. And that's the top 20 showings of any given thing in a week on the hub. That's both impressive for the sake of ponies, and also kind of sad.
Also, I think the most sad, pound puppies.
That's not even anywhere near the top, is it?
They're 28. Like looking at some of the other stuff that's here, that is just like, we created these.
But fun.
She's Ow, 53.
Ouch.
I wonder if that's getting renewed. Probably not.
Batman Beyond is at 74 with 94. Don't tell me BTAS isn't even on this. Ooh, Aquabats is at 103. RIP Aquabats.
Transformers Prime is at 30.
The Batman, the animated series, is not even in the top.
Well, Batman Beyond was 74.
64. And
Dark Times.
And hey, Alf. Alf. 264th with 6,000 viewers. It's at 5 a.m., but still.
Jeez.
Man.
Go check some Alf.
I'm actually kind of interested to see where, they've been talking of, hey, we're getting Sister.
No, boy.
Sister aired in 20 years ago.
Can't wait till Boys Meet World is on this.
They've already got Step by Step. I mean, it's like they're dredging up the old TGIF stuff from the mid 90s. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that meshes, because it is 20 years ago. In 1994, internet didn't exist. Cell phones weren't really a thing in the modern day. So it's like a lot of the stuff that happens in that show is going to be kind of like, well, why don't they just pull out their phones and get the answer? Because it happened 20 years ago. It's going to be so crazy for some of these kids.
They're going to bring up a computer. They're going to be like, hey, let's go to a computer. It's just like this old gray Mac. And they're like, what the hell is that thing? That's what Granddad used to type on. Is that a typewriter? Yes.
Why is that TV so massive? Oh, that's a monitor? Where are all the colors? Why is it not in HD? God.
It is kind of an interesting dynamic. Their popular MLP show, and now they're bringing back these old. And it's like, what are you doing, guys?
Strange times. All right, well, there's that. Let's see, anything else? Yep, that's the hub ratings. That's all of that. So,
let's talk horse episodes.
Sure, let's do that. We got two of them to talk about. We got both Simple Ways and Philly Vanilli to talk about. So we will go ahead and start up at the top. As usual, if you haven't seen these episodes, we are going to be spoilerific as always, and go into some medium depth on it. So if you do not wish to do that, plug your ears or pause or however you wish to, so that we don't go all spoilerific. All right, let's start at the top. Let's start at the episode that aired 2 weeks ago. Let me click back to this. For Simple Ways, that's going to be season number 4, episode number 13, overall episode number 78, original air date February 8, 2014, written by Josh Harbour, who we like from his Castlemania, storyboarded by Corey Toomey and John Young, and featured characters as Tinderhoof.
Trenderhoof.
Sorry. Trenderhoof, sorry. This is a rarity episode, Sandy. How did you like it?
It was all right. I thought that the episode itself was fine. The reactions of Rarity going, after this guy and him being totally shoved off, her reactions were pretty funny. And when she tried to take over being the Applejack, it was actually really quite funny.
Makes sense that this was rumored the episode that broke Tabitha St. Germain.
I have no doubt.
Having to do Rarity, doing the voice of Rarity attempting to do a Southern voice. So doing a bad Southern accent on top of doing Rarity. So the basis is...
So funny.
It's, oh boy, that's pretty on it. God. So yeah, unfortunately, so let's go through the basics. Let's see, Rarity is getting to dress up the town for, what was the event called? I'm trying to find that.
Ponyville Days Festival.
Ponyville Days. And Trenderhoof is going to be coming, and she's all mega smitten with him. Oh no.
Yeah, he's like the Anthony Bourdain of Equestria. He goes to new places and makes them popular and forces gentrification upon the populace and raises property values and drives new people into lower income areas and causes lower income people to lose their homes. And wait, no, that's not what we're talking about.
Hold on. And he eats all the rare things and...
Sound like the utopia that Equestria, is supposed to be.
Yeah. So let's see. So yeah, doing all that, and she's smitten with Trenderhoof. Trenderhoof seems to she's okay with him, but you know who Trenderhoof really goes for? That apple mare.
Yeah, Applejack.
Looking and seeing her eat that apple, and all like, oh. No, boy, she's so sweaty. She's bucking that tree and just like...
That the scene where he's focused on Applejack and then Rarity's saying, ooh, Applejack? And he's like, move out of the way, woman. I must watch this other pony kick trees. Oh, that's so hot.
Must watch her slick sweat from her brow as she, just does this. And just the look on Rarity where she's just like, huh? What? I don't understand. I'm trying to think. So so let's see. Borg, what were your feelings on the episode?
What was that?
Hey, hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Sorry, you cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, what was your feelings on the episode?
I thought to really kind of portray their moral lesson. I was kind of like wondering what they were...
What lesson they were trying to learn? Oh boy.
Yes, the lesson. There was maybe a little lesson going on. It just wasn't, shit fit fuel.
Well, I think the lesson was more of the it was a repeat of be honest with yourself.
Yeah, it's like It was an interesting way for them to do the message of, all right, don't try to change yourself just to appeal to somebody else. You have to be true to yourself, and if they don't like you, that's their loss.
I like that second part there. The whole is like, if they, it's, it wasn't about just yourself. If somebody doesn't like you, well, that's their loss. It was, I really like that part at the end.
It's like, there's people that, and this is, at least in this particular case, it was Rarity wanting Trenderhoof to be interested in her, and he wasn't, and AJ going, I don't have time for this guy. And at the very end of that, she's like, well, and then Rarity saves her from having to admit anything.
Head cannons.
Well, he never did address the question.
Which question?
The what was AJ actually going to say?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure that they weren't going to actually.
No, they're not actually going to do that. Yes. But degenerate fan fiction writers and shippers. You
It's
know.
proof. It's proof. Of course, on the opposite side, oh no, Rarity likes guys. Oh no.
Oh no.
This is the worst thing ever. Two characters potentially like guys. Head cannons breaking so hard. Yeah, it's
Hey, Cheerily likes guys.
oh, that's true, and we can get to that in just a little bit.
Rarity, Rarity liked him a lot. Like that lock of hair, that was pretty stalkerish.
That's He's followed him all around Equestria. He knows where he sleeps. You know, I hope he doesn't have any large vents. That, you know.
Poor Spike.
Oh yeah, and that line. Oh, Spike, how could you understand being totally infatuated with a pony and they don't even know you exist? And he just kind of looks at her and looks at the camera. It's like, get a load of this bitch. Spike's kind of like, I've been, or alternatively, it's like, yeah, how do you like being friend zoned now, Rarity? Jeez. It was a good episode. I certainly liked it.
It'd be interesting if we saw some sort of like big relationship change between Rarity and Spike, where Spike just goes, I'm going with Apple Bloom. I don't care anymore.
Ew.
What?
Oh, it'd be Sweetie Belle.
Sweetie Belle?
Ew.
What? He's a baby.
No, he's not.
He's a baby dragon.
But he's too friggin' young. No.
He's a baby dragon. No matter what, it's too friggin' young.
They're both kids. They shouldn't be doing anything. They're too young. God.
That's
Why are we
That's-
saying that they're doing anything?
Yeah, you're the one saying that.
I just-
Sorry, jeez.
Woo.
You know, maybe it can happen in the 4.5 reboot we talked about earlier.
Yeah, there you go. Spike's all like teenage now. He's like, hey, sup?
Ew.
How's it going? My name's Spike Dragon. Just came over here, bench pressing a little bit, just said, you know,
Stop it.
hey, I'm Spike.
Stop it.
What?
Stop it.
Stop what? I'm
Your
Spike.
Stupid deep voice.
I'm Spike
Stop
the
it.
Dragon.
No.
I don't.
No.
What?
No.
What?
Stop it.
Hey guys, I'm Spike the Dragon. How's it going?
Or
Just so you know,
the,
I grew up with Twilight Sparkle. She was really cool, and so now I'm this teenage dragon, and Yeah.
Spike, Sweetie Belle, OTP.
yeah, you know, just doing what I can, hanging around Ponyville. It's pretty cool. He wears a leather jacket and 4.5. Hey, yeah,
Jeez.
gonna be funny.
That's in season 6.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you know, what you gonna do?
wow.
Oh boy, now I'm really gonna die. Now I'm
Yep,
maximum
you're doomed.
death.
I like being covered in mud.
Yeah.
So let's see, anything else on simple ways we should bring up? Oh, we forgot the transformations. So we both had Rarity's transformation into Farm Pony, and then we had Applejack's transformation into Apple Jewel.
Yeah, it was interesting how it's like, all right, so Rarity was thinking Trenderhoof was interested in the whole farm pony thing. So she transforms herself into this terrible hick pony.
And horrifically hick pony. Like,
Yes.
offensively hick pony.
You know, the whole Twilight, or it's like, Rarity, that's kind of offensive. You know, and people did the, you know, we're a culture, not a costume thing for with AJ looking mad and Rarity doing her little thing. God, it was really funny at the time.
Also,
Kind
the
of a-
terrible part that when Trenderhoof finally showed up, he was dressed exactly the same as Rarity. Just like, oh yeah, this is how farm ponies dress. Like, yeah.
And it was also like, oh, I just love this Earth Pony work ethic. Oh, well, thanks. You know, you dang witch pony. She kicks him in the horn. You know, it's like
shatters in half.
it's like, oh, you didn't take the classes that I had to take, did you?
How'd those classes doing you?
I can tolerate pixel kitties. We're going on adventures together. You hung out with that Kieran,
Yeah,
but he wanted unicorns. That's all right.
yeah. Wait, what? Hold. Oh man. Let's see, but yeah, Apple Jewels. That I thought that was, for it. I'm almost at the point now that I'm not sure we're going to get the quintessential like Applejack standout episode, but she's done a lot of really good stuff this season. What with the Pinky Apple Pie and with how she was in this one of just being a good foil against the other characters.
Yeah, and she does a good job at that. I mean, she's a good foil pony. She's the straight mare, as it were.
Wait, what?
The straight man in a comedy troupe.
I know.
Yes.
That's not what I've heard. Booyah.
Well, my fan fiction says otherwise, so you should educate yourself.
Just want you to know.
About that.
Her parents are dead. Let's see.
She's Batmare.
Pretty much. So yes, Rarity returns back to her old self. It was. I thought it was a fine episode. I giggled, and especially at just Tabitha going crazy with Rarity's southern accent. So it was really, really crazy. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead. So that was Simple Ways. Let's go ahead and move on to this week's, which was Philly Vanilli. Obviously a play on the band Milli Vanilli. That was season number 4, episode number 14, overall episode number 79. Original air date February 15th, 2014. Written by A.K.R. Amy Keating Rogers. Storyboarded Emmett Hall and Tony Cliff. Featured characters were the Pony Tones, and songs was Music in the Treetops and Find the Music in You. This was a super musical episode.
Super duper musical.
The only one closer is the season 3, which was like 8 songs. But this was a exceptionally musical episode. Let's go ahead, Borg. What were your feelings on it?
Musical person myself. I kind of accidentally loved the episode. My fiance just busted into laughing. Anyway, yeah, it was. I liked the premise. I love the way they were able to bring back elements, the continuity from the previous episodes with the poison joke and the flare guy. It was amazing.
Who else was surprised that they actually used the term flutter guy?
I was really surprised. I was like, wait, what? They really did kind of take the fandom name and ran with it.
In the first episode.
Mm-hmm. It was just surprising because Flutter Guy, obviously there's nothing trademarked or weird about that, but it just had she did have a deep voice, but calling it Flutter Guy was just kind of like, all right, okay. I don't know. I just thought it was a little bit. I thought it was kind of funny of just like, huh. Okay, I guess it makes sense. I guess instead of it just being a deep voice, it's just changing Fluttershy's, voice into a dude's voice. So that was really kind of like, huh. Okay, all right. Well, we'll just go with it. And how many times are they gonna say it this episode? A few. Okay, that works too. But let's see, the basics are, there are the Pony Tones. They are a singing troupe. Hey Yo, they're pretty cool. Rarity's in it, as is Big Mac and 2 others. And Fluttershy loves
what there's name for.
Yeah, Fluttershy loves to sing, but is too stage fright to actually sing. And
so she does the Milli Vanilli thing.
Which, to explain, Milli Vanilli was a band in the early 2000s, I believe, which was where the event happened. They were caught at one point doing lip syncing to their music while on stage, which back then was a crime against humanity. Nowadays, it is as expected.
Pretty much.
And from there, they pretty much got... I wouldn't say blacklisted, but their popularity dropped almost overnight, and then bad things happened. So it was amazing because Milli Vanilli had like this amazingly sparkling image for a while. There was a Super Mario Brothers show with Milli Vanilli where Princess Peach is all about Milli Vanilli, and it's really weird.
It was actually in 1989.
89. Okay.
So it's a reference that adults will know, but kids are like, what does it mean?
Yeah, Philly Vanilli, what? So yeah, back when lip syncing was a crime against humanity, and then 15 years later, nobody cares because everyone does it. Hey, look, the Red Hot Chili Peppers are playing in the Super Bowl.
Who? Yeah.
I'm playing this guitar. There's no chord in this guitar.
Yeah. Flutter Guy, they said Flutter Guy back in the Poison Joke episode. I don't know where the chat's getting that we were saying it was Fanon. No, she totally said that.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
I thought it was Fanon, but okay.
Yeah, it was Spike giving the ponies names based upon their Poison Joke inflicted maladies.
You're right. Yep, you're right, because he was coming up and he was trying to figure out what hers was, and then eventually came up with Flutter Guy. Okay, you're right. I'm dumb. I'll admit to that. Let's see. So the basics: Fluttershy is singing music and is doing the music in the treetops.
Yeah. Oh, also, I have been informed via text that the real scandal wasn't they were lip singing; it was that they were lip syncing their. It wasn't they were lip syncing their own music. They were actually other people were singing for them.
Oh, okay.
They were just dancing on stage,
right.
Which is very much in line with what the episode actually was.
Mm-hmm. Right. That was the thing, is that there was two people that were not as good looking as them that were actually the main singers of the group.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, that's more in line. But they also were lip syncing to that. They got caught because they were singing a recording once on a live event, and the recording began to skip.
Yeah, back when there was CDs that could skip.
Yeah, and the recording skipped, and obviously it's pretty apparent when all of a sudden you're singing and you're suddenly going, "Girl, you know it's girl, you know it's girl, you know it." He's like, "Uh-oh, whoops!" And both of the singers immediately run backstage. So let's see. So this whole thing happens. Pinky was the worst.
Pinky was the worst.
Whew.
She got confirmed by, again, his worst pony.
I like Pinky, but that was like, stop.
Yes, and just God, it just made me really like, oh well, Pinky's certainly not sliding up that scale. She got some bonus points for being in that cheese sandwich episode, but nope, she's still awful.
Oh,
how could she be so mean to Fluttershy? Making her cry like twice.
Why is she not accosted from the show like Gilda at this point? Oh no.
Yeah, it's like, Gilda's Satan McDouble Hitler for making Fluttershy cry. Now Pinkie Pie's done it twice in a single episode.
All of a sudden next week Gilda's just in Pinky's spot, just like, what? I was here the whole time. Replacement Pinky's here this week. Shut up, dweebs. Let's see. Go ahead and look through this. So, yeah, Pinky was really bad about prolonging Fluttershy's anxiety, and then also causing the number one problem, which was Big Macintosh losing his voice because...
Apparently, Pinky can do turkey calls.
Really, really good, and...
Sounds exactly like a turkey.
Yeah. Because she wanted to troll.
I really like Big Mac singing. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that was Peter New singing that. That was amazing. I like that a lot.
And he did actually sing twice because he was able to sing in the opening part and then again at the reprise at the end. And one thing else, did you notice he didn't have his yoke on the entire episode? It's like he was naked.
Okay.
That's how I like my ponies.
I'm actually checking with Peter right now, just being like, hey, it was really fantastic to hear you sing on the latest episode.
But yeah, and it was kind of unfortunate because Fluttershy really got into the singing. She really likes to sing, but she doesn't want to do it in front of the crowd. So she had Big Mac lip sync for her while she was basically drinking up on poison joke juice. She's like, hey Zakora, hit me up.
That PJ is one hell of a drug.
She's the dealer that lives out in the woods.
Oh,
Mistress Zakora, she's got what you need. So yeah, and in the end, she's found out, and by that point, Big Mac has his voice back, and Fluttershy gets to sing with the group. But when asked, "Hey, do you want to go out and do another live show?" she's like, "No. A little steps. I'm happy to do this, but I don't want to do it in front of a big crowd." And everyone goes, "That's all right." And that was basically it. The episode's like, hey, work with people's anxieties within their limits. Don't be a jerk to people if they don't want to do something. Which is a pretty good moral, really.
And that Big Mac gets all of the mares.
Yes, he does.
That's Shirley.
Shirley fainting and Fluttershy shaking her booty in the window. She, I gotta say, I really did like the episode. It was certainly not as manic or strange as the other episodes have been in the past.
I like the way that the end of the episode, Fluttershy wasn't immediately over her fear.
Yeah.
The baby steps. I thought that was a really great way that he spun that.
It's like, yes, I do really want to do this, but I'll do it in my own pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And the reprise they did where she was actually singing, it was like, oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a quintet.
Yes.
Now, does Andrea, does she sing or?
No, that's somebody else.
Is that somebody else? I can't remember them all off the top of my head. The substitute singers.
It's Kazumi Evans and Becca Soichet and some other ponies. Some other ponies. God.
Let me see.
People.
Ugh, gross. Hold on. Let me see if I can look up the songs over here. See if I can confirm the singers on those. It'd be weird if I found out that, like, hey, Peter, nice to hear you sing on that, and it'd be like, shut up, I didn't sing. Oh no, now I feel bad.
Yeah.
I heard he does sing.
But actually it wasn't him.
Really?
All right,
Wasn't.
time to remove that. Hey, great to hear the remove message. No, let's see. Marcus Mosley, Kazumi Evans, Jerica Santos, and Danny Balkwell were the singers for that particular song.
Now, I did notice it seemed like the song changed a little bit through there.
Well, yeah, the final reprise was the combination of Fluttershy's song from the beginning and the song they were working on throughout the episode.
Well, it sounded like kind of like the singers changed. Like it was actually Peter New on like a few of the beats, and then it just kind of like changed a little bit. It got a more professional sound to it. I'd have to. I only watched the episode once. So I just could be full of it.
Yeah, it did seem just a little different. Oh, wait, here we go. Hold on. So find the music in you. And then there's the rehearsal, which actually does show Peter on it.
Ah.
Now, maybe this is the one where his voice is breaking.
I don't know.
See, that's what I thought.
Okay, but then in the Music in the Treetops reprise, he is. Okay, that's very weird. That's very... Maybe they just don't have Peter in this one, like not listed properly. But he's listed in the other two, at least by FilmWiki. So
Yeah.
See, when they start a lot of as they start the songs, it's kind of like you're not focused on the song. You're focused not on the characters and the background, and the song is starting. You notice like they're setting up how Fluttershy's thing, and then when they focus in on the song, I feel like they kind of switch people.
Well, Andrea did sing, at least based off of this. Andrea did sing. So Andrea and Peter and Kazumi were all singing on that with Jerica Santos and Danny Balkwill following up. Actually, that's weird. So that's weird. In one of these, Marcus Mosley looks like he did the voice for Mac, and then the other ones it was actually Peter New who did it. Huh.
Oh.
That's interesting. That sounds like a story.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's that. Let's see. Philly Finelli, final thoughts.
Pretty
episode.
good.
Pretty good episode.
Not my favorite of the season, but also not bad. I do think that, as Rex pointed out in the chat, is that not all the problems are being solved by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
It's basically, this, things are still problems after you have a friendship lesson about them.
I thought that was important.
Yeah.
And it looks like that Daniel Ingram made a big post about it. Let's see. Made a big post kind of detailing everything. Were orchestrated and arranged by myself, Caleb Chan, and Trevor Hoffman, sung by Danny Balkwill, Peter New, Kazumi Evans, Jerica Santos, Marcus Mosley, and Crawford Doan, and recorded at the Gas Station Studios with Paul Chateau, who also supplied the nuts. Thanks, Paul. Find you've got the music. So, all right. That works. So that was Philly Vanilli. That takes care of that. Next week, you know what you get to look forward to? Best Pony episode. It's Twilight time.
Yep. It's actually going to be a CMC episode.
It is. The CMCs find out that Twilight is going to help with their studies. Unfortunately, they also find out that they can use Twilight to increase their own popularity. Yo, dog, we're hanging out with a princess.
That's cool.
So,
Princess of Books.
Book princess.
Princess of Books.
Book golems. So that will be written by Dave Polsky and storyboarded by our favorite Sibsy. And we check that out. That will be next week. All right, let's go ahead. That takes care of that. So let's go ahead and move down here. We've got, it looks like we've got a fanfic someone added in here. Go ahead and just yank this up. And somebody listed a little earlier a fanfic that was the Twilight being the princess of books. Maybe that can get listed back in. But they listed here Cheerly's 1,000.
Cheerly has bad luck at dates.
Yes.
That seems about right. Go check that. Looks like some odd 20 chapters, incomplete, 27,000 words roughly. And that's on FemFiction. Good ratings, all that stuff. If you guys wanted to add in the the other one where she's the princess of books, that works. All right,
Author is Juggernaut.
There you go. All right, let's see. We got some emails. You can always email across to us at bronyville@gmail.com, and we will read them on the episode. Let's go ahead and do this. I will go first. Sandy goes second, and well, we got 2 emails, so we'll go with those. Dear AC, Chef Sandy, and esteemed guest, if there are any. First off, I wanted to say that I love what you do. Your show is a great thing to listen while I'm going to and from whatever activities a day may entitle. You have such a great sense of humor, and I love it. To the point, I am recently converted Brony of about 8 months. I am finding there are a lot of really stupid idiots who will stop at nothing to insult me and my reputation because I like the show. Do you have any people like that you interact with? And if so, how do you deal with them? If ignoring them isn't enough, what I mean is they are spreading rumors about me and starting to get hold of my close friends. Sounds like you have some trolls.
And some D-bags.
Yep.
Jeez.
I mean, liking a show is not ever a problem. I mean, if you're perhaps being an overly evangelistic individual, saying, oh my god, you must watch the show, it's so amazing, that can get on people's nerves, but it's just people being jerks. They try to find the lowest hanging fruit and they'll swing at it.
I mean, as for them going and telling friends that, like, oh, they like this, it's like, well, there's kind of two things you can. There's one thing you can do, and there's one thing that is, maybe more of a test of character. The first thing is the fact that, your friends could know of, like, hey, I watched this show, and do it like this. That pony thing's okay. Or just have it be out there. Just be like, really? Yeah, whatever. It's better than it should be. And so that they know, so if anybody goes, did you hear that they watch My Little Pony? Like, what, really? Oh, that's weird. They preemptively know, oh yeah, I know that. The other is if there's somebody that is really going to get their panties in a wad because all of a sudden you watch a particular show, no matter what it is, then they may not have the best character to begin with. Oh, I can't be friends with them. They watch a show. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh no! How terrible!
That's like, it's like, what do you watch?
I watched some Kill la Kill last week, and I don't know what I watched.
Watched something amazing.
Oh my god!
Kill.
Oh,
it's a sweet show.
Oh my god! I want to watch more, but I don't know if my brain can handle it.
It can. You need to do it. Do it, Philly.
Stop peer pressuring me. Let's see. Interact with. How do you deal with them? I mean, this is kind of when you're dealing with people that are being jerks and bullies. There is the easiest way to not have a jerk, to pretty much get off of a jerk or bully's radar is simply give them nothing to. Give them no wins. This is something that was very hard for me learning growing up, and it took pretty much until the end of high school to actually pick it up. But the number one thing that a jerk or a bully is trying to do is they are trying to rustle your feathers. They're trying to rustle your jimmies, pretty much. And if they do that, they get the satisfaction that they've upset you, and therefore, they're going to keep doing it because they know that they can keep doing it and they can get a reaction out of you. The moment that you stop, that you just kind of realize that they're doing that and ultimately their opinion doesn't matter, that if they don't like something for you and that they're being mean and that ultimately you're not going to convert them and their opinion doesn't matter in the long run, then blow them off and just be like, whatever. Then they have they're getting no feedback. They're getting no satisfaction from coming at you. And ultimately, they usually just go, this isn't fun anymore, whatever, and just move along. So that's my take. You got anything there, Sandy? Your feels?
Yeah, it's pretty much what you said. Never let them see you sweat.
Yeah, just, don't give them anything. And it's rough. It's hard doing that, especially when when you don't feel as comfortable or confident yourself. That's when you confide in your friends and, you use them to kind of bolster yourself back up. And if they're real friends, they'll stick by you. So, they won't be wavered by petty rumors and, stuff that in the long run really doesn't matter. So, yep. All right, Sandy Face, what do you got?
All right, so dear Bronyville podcast, Apple Cider, Chef Sandy, and or other welcome guests / Starry. I really enjoy your podcast and wanted to thank you for great episodes on the ponies. Also want to tell you that I'm a newcomer to this thing called the internet, and I was surprised the first time I found Twitter and befuddled that one of you actually replied to one of my tweets. So thank you for your recognition and communication. Or communion. Oh, wow. I am a little behind on episodes. I'm still on 135, but it seems like you're going along very well so far. 133 was the funniest ever. I also wanted to point out that the music at the end of the podcast was really good. So, good job, M. Anyways, the reason I wrote is I wanted you to know how big of celebrities you are. I remember you saying you were just a guy, but you hold a special place in the hearts of us all, and are probably the only show that I would rely on to keep in touch with my Brony friends after the MLP fandom dissipates. So to keep that fandom unlimited idea ready might be a good idea for after MLP. I would like to make a suggestion too. The MLP analysis community might benefit from having someone on your show. Just a suggestion, as I know the two of you don't really like analysis videos. Twilight, Rarity, Fluttershy, and Luna are best ponies. Sincerely, Nicholas Powell. P.S. Can I have the answer to life, the universe, and everything? 42.
There you go.
Well, thank you. It's really weird being internet popular as we are, I suppose. It's like we are just fans like you. We are not, anything terribly special.
Well, it's the weird. It's one of the weird things, at least for us, that we have to say that, where it's just like, hey, we're guys that started recording and doing this stuff, And I think my hope is anytime I go to a convention, I never come off as somebody that's just like, oh, yeah. A terrible case in point. We noticed something recently that came around where there was someone who I won't go into details, but gave a public announcement to conventions and just be like, just so you know, I'm a big deal, and I'm going to be a lot of work to deal with, but you're getting such and such talent, and it's just one of those things like, really? Like, it's such a weird thing of just like, oh, I'm such a big deal. Do you know how much of a big deal I am? And just to us, we're just like, that's not our MO. We're far more interested in just being like guys that you can talk to. Like, our purpose in this is so that we can reach out to you guys and have someone that you can talk to about this show or about, geeky, nerdy, fun stuff. The last thing I want to do is make it seem like either of us are on this ivory tower where it's like, all our opinions are law. We're certainly fallible. We're certainly wrong. Me more often than Sandy.
You're wrong all the time.
More often than Sandy. And yeah, that's just my particular thing. So anything you want to say on that point before we talk about analysis videos?
I'm fine with that. I mean,
as for analysis videos, I think that there's been a habit recently of people trying too hard, and it becomes one of those things where you're losing the forest through the trees. You're trying so hard to find the tiniest nugget of information that you lose sight of the actual, like, just the fact that it's like an episode, that there was an episode. You're so focused on picking apart tiny things that may be there or may not actually have been there. It may have been the idea that the writer made. It may just be you completely pulling it out of your ass. And I think that there is a big problem with people taking this stuff a little bit too far more often than not. So, there's nothing wrong with enjoying it. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with enjoying it. There's nothing wrong with going a little bit further into it. I just always advocate against getting to the point where you are, just trying to distill down every ounce of the show as if it is a doctrine, as if it is a guide to life. Like, it's a good show. It's really, we have done 140 episodes about talking about horse. But even when we start getting analytical on stuff, it's all simply because we're like, that sounds cool. Or this is kind of what they did. Never want to be like, well, the socio-political status of the blur, 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 blur. Yeah. That's my take. Actually, I had to. It's sad that Rommel isn't here because there's a panel that we were going to do at Babscon that I was trying to push for us to change a little bit, because we had joked at Sac Brony about doing this panel that was just like, what characters and what philosophical, like historical philosophical philosophers, there we go, actually, like, do they relate to? And I'm like, I'm sorry to say, but this conversation is so far up its own ass, nobody will be interested. It's so far removed from being like actually a relevant conversation.
It sounds like a panel.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
It's well, and we'll probably end up doing part of that, but I wanted to kind of distill it back down into something that was much more of a pure form, which was, headcanons.
Maybe we could get M.A. Larson on that panel.
That would be pretty fun.
Hey, Mitch, how about them wings? If you had the power to add wings, and I'm not saying you do, you totally do. Who would you put wings on?
Listen, I'm just saying, but Borg, if you could get M.A. Larson onto the head panel that I want to do, because one of the things I've been wanting to do for so long is just have an open mic and have people come up and just be like, what if Shining Armor and Vinyl Scratch are actually secret brother and sister? And we could just sit there and go like, sure, yeah, sure, fine, approved, moving on. Like, just to hear the most outlandish or the most interesting headcanon ideas that people have, just to go like, does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Like, does it work? We will be the approval process for headcanon from now on.
That would be amazing.
It would be, and if Larson was there, he'd be like, sure, I don't care. Not like I'm on the show.
Obsidian Winter would hurt me so much if I said yes to such a panel.
Well, that's why we have to ask her.
Right.
Exactly. I'll have to ask Obsidian. And again, yeah, M.A. Larson has nothing to do with this particular season, so he can pretty much say whatever he wants.
He'll approve everything.
He'll approve everything.
Just as long as I bring a bottle of whiskey, he'll approve everything we say, so. Okay. All right. Yeah, I should probably bring that by Obsidian. I know that Rommel already had a panel, but I'd be interested to see, just because I think that would be absolutely just stupid funny. So just have people come up and just blather on their like crazy head cannons. Chrysalis is actually an old queen from the time before. Yeah, sure, fine.
Actually, I've got a fanfic author that I need to look up the name of or get the name from Bob, because he's been really tooting that guy's horn. He's written a couple of really cute stories that I need to get him on the show in a couple of weeks, because he has some interesting fanfic theories about changelings.
Oh, there we go. Yep. Go and get your fanon approved.
Yes.
That'll be the basic. Let's see. I think that takes care of everything on that. So, all right, thanks. So you can always email across to us at bronyville@gmail.com. We do love your emails that you send to us. It's a good time. That's great. 5-star iTunes Bronies. 829 ratings. No new ones this week.
Aw, sad face.
When the day is long and the night is yours alone. Oh, wait, I'm going to get content ID'd. Sorry. Didn't
Don't do that, AC.
Don't content ID us. That would be bad. Can't ever actually sing or do anything now anymore.
Nope.
Copyright infringement will find you. All right, and I guess we didn't get any donations this week, or maybe. I don't know.
Nope.
All right, well, let's go ahead. Time to do one cool thing. I don't have a one cool thing, so I'm going to have to rush. I saw something recently I'm going to have to find. Actually, somebody's going to need to link it for me. So there was an animation that came out this week, or maybe it was last week, which was the Bat Pony one. Does anyone remember that one?
The Feels.
Yeah, the Feels one. If someone can find it, I'll post it inside of here. I thought it was really great animation. The audio kind of drove me nuts, and of course, because I'm an audio guy, that's one of the reasons why it drove me nuts. But I thought it was. I really liked the way that they merged 2D and 3D inside of it. It was a really good visual style. It was. I will state that at least in the terms of animation, the audio was rough, as I said, and it really was feels poison. It was a lot of like, and they'll never be together again. Plot point, never mind. But I really like the style of it, and hey, Bat Pones, that's kind of cool.
Bat Pones are pretty cool.
Yeah, so that'll be in the show notes. You can go find the show notes over at Bronyville. Or BronyShow.com or BronyvillePodcast.com if we can find it. It was Bat Pony animation. And once it comes up in the chat or if somebody finds it, I'll bring it up. Sandy, what do you got?
Mine, since Bravely Default has become my gaming poison of choice in the recent week, and well, 2 weeks at this point. Because I played the demo, then I played the game. Apparently, this game is popular enough that it had a big concert at least once in Japan, and oh, excuse me, allergies. And the part that I linked was the battle music medley. It's 17 minutes and 26 seconds long. It's crazy, and is some really awesome guitar and violin. The guys that did the music for Bravely Default are also the guys that did the opening songs for Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've listened to the ridiculousness of that particular arrangements, you kind of got an idea of the kind of the boss music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's all really good. So it takes 17 minutes and 26 seconds and some pretty awesome music. And what's really funny is like right at the end, they do a brief rendition of the victory music. So it's like after all these battled songs, victory music. It's great.
All right, Borg, you're gonna pimp us Babscon again, aren't you?
Babscon.
Babscon.
So when does pre-reg close for that?
That closes on the 4th of April. So 4/4/14, you will have to buy after that, you'll have to buy your badge at the door for an increased price. Unless, of course, you are a senior or a military, in which case you will pay pre-reg prices at the door. That is also a new bit of news, actually. That was just decided just the other day for all of our military bronies out there who just don't know whether or not they can come this far out, and they show up, they will be able to pay a discounted price at the door. Also, there's this cool Rainbow Rocks video.
Is there?
There is.
Is it actually cool?
It's, if you like the death metal, which I am a personal fan of, then yes. Can somebody link it in the chat?
Yeah,
amazing.
let me. I need to pull it up in just a second. By the way, someone found it. Where Are You is the name of the video. It is done by. Let me pull up the YouTube account for mine. It is done by Al Stiff. So you can find that on YouTube. It features bat pones and feels. And then it gets better. Let me see. Rainbow Rocks in a nutshell. Let me take a look. Oh, no.
Babscon.
Oh, boy.
More guests than LPU. More financial security than LPU.
Yo, that's not the tagline you want to run with. Just saying.
more guests than that con that died because it had so many guests. And no money.
I actually am in charge of selling tickets, so I know how much money there is. And this is no LPU, gentlemen.
Well, you actually have connections, and you actually talk to the fandom, and you're not weird.
And you don't have a series of failed business ventures stretching from Maine to Florida to Las Vegas either.
And it's funny, I can't tell of which two people you're talking about. That ain't off the top of my head.
Ho. All right, well, it takes care of it. That's one cool thing stuff. You can all find those on the doc that is part of each episode over at BronyShow.com or BronyvillePodcast.com. And that'll take care of our episode this week. Hey, Borg, thanks for coming on.
Always. It's a pleasure.
Cool. Sandy?
I'm going to be late getting to... yes, count on me.
Yeah, I do. You're all worried about your card gaming?
Yeah, I got to go win horse cards again this week.
I guess so. I need to find someone to play horse card.
I like winning free packs and stomping people with friendship.
I guess so. And as always, thanks to all the fans out there, be it if you are on Justin TV right now watching the show, or if you're listening to this on iTunes or whatever podcast aggregator you got. Thank you for listening to that. Also, we're on Stitcher. Just for you Stitcher people. I guess if you're listening this on Stitcher, you know that. If you don't, then you can watch it on that, just so you know. All right, well, let's go ahead and do this. BronyShow.com, BronyvillePodcast.com is the website. Bronyville@gmail.com is the email address. You can join us roughly every Saturday, noon Pacific, at justin.tv/BronyvillePodcast. iTunes reviews, we didn't get any this week. You know what you're supposed to do. Listen to the show on Celestia Radio every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 11 p.m. UTC. My Twitter account is at Bronyville.
There's Sandy.
Guests are Babscon, and we are Borg Pony, it appears. And Meetup, I am part of the Bronies of Northern California.
I'm Brony's from Texas.
And Babscon is the con we are going to be at coming up in 2 months.
2 months.
2 months. Next
Hey,
week.
just in case, in 2 months, I'll have been hanging out in the Bay Area for a couple days too.
Yep, and
Have a wild time out there.
We'll be chilling. We'll be chillaxing. Yes. We'll be imbibing in some of my cider. I've got to go find a keg later at some point. Starry doesn't want me to, but I'm going to be purchasing a keg. And yeah, we'll be doing a whole bunch of fun. But, that's next week we'll do FU, or we'll figure out what we need to do. It's going to be, both of us are going to be busy, but we will figure out something. But that takes care of us for this week. So hope you liked your horse. Till then, sleep well, every pony.
Adios. Ponies always goes